Okay, so this video is going to be all about tasks, managing tasks, setting up tasks within mortgage files, automations, your global task tab. But first I want to get into where you can find the task section. So if you go to pipeline and then you click into a file, to do is your tasks. So you can either, on the to-do page, there's a couple options. You can select from any kind of templates that you might have. You can create a task manually, title and description, give it a priority, assign it to any one of the users, set a due date, meaning this is when that task is actually going to be due for that person. So if they filter their tasks on the global task tab to be like things I got to do today, only the ones with the due date for today would show up then. And then if they filter to tomorrow, they'll see the ones for tomorrow and so on. So you have your due dates there. And then you also have this ability to send an email notification if you're assigning it to someone. So say I wanted to assign it to Jen, create the task, select this, and she'll get an email saying that she has a new task. You don't have to select that though. So we'll go test, just to show you. So when I create the task, the title will be at the top, description there. Now you can select the task to do mass actions if you're going to mass update the due dates, meaning like say you have multiple, you could select them all and then update all the due dates, mark them all as complete, delete them, switch the priority, and change who they're assigned to. Now on this page itself, you can also toggle between like your active ones, the ones that you have today, so the ones with the due date today, any kind of completed tasks and so on. And you can also filter based on the team members. So if you want to see different team members' tasks, you can click through and see it. So all is right here. If I click on Jen, obviously I still see your task, but then if I click on myself and not Jen, then obviously I don't see it. So the task will display here, but it will also display in the task hub. If I go over to the task hub and I click on tasks, they will also display in here in a list view, and then you can filter based on the stage, the person, so Jen, and then also the due date. So I'll go due today. Okay, so there's a couple different ways that you can look at your tasks, whether it's in the global tab, which is all your to-dos, or within the actual mortgage file itself. Contacts also have tasks built in. If you go to the contacts table, you click on a contact, there will be a tag that says tasks, and you can create it there. So one thing I want to show you how to set up though is how to create automated tasks, because obviously you want to have these tasks generated as your files move through the system. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and create an automation. I'm going to mark this one as complete because we no longer need it. Automations is where you're going to create these basically triggers and actions. So a trigger is what needs to happen for that task to get created, and then we're going to create the task. So for instance, we want to make it so that when a pipeline stage is changed from application received to, and I'm just trying to think of stages that I don't already have set up. So application received to ready to review, just to kind of show you how a trigger works. We want to create a task, and that task we're going to title, we're going to say review and make sure all documents have been uploaded. Okay, pretty simple task. And then you could give it a description. All documents, they need to be labeled and organized under the correct borrower. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are actually going to put it to file owner, which is me, and then we're going to go due date same day. If you did days from creation, that means after this trigger happens, it's going to, 2 days from now, it's going to add this task in. But what we want to do is we're just going to do right now, same day. So as immediately as you move to that stage, the task gets created. So we'll go save workflow. Now go to the pipeline. If I move my file from that stage we said to the ready to review, you'll notice that if I click in and go to the to-do tab, my task is right there. Review to make sure all documents have been uploaded. Review and make sure all documents have been uploaded. All documents need to be labeled correctly. Exactly the same title and description that I gave. If you want it in list format, you can do it in list format too. But But there you have it. There is your task. So that's how you would create the tasks automatically. You can create them manually. And then if you want to see all your tasks in one spot, you go to the Task Hub and filter to the Task tab, because there's the conditions and the checklist in that tab as well. So hopefully this helps clarify how the tasks work. And using automations is a great way to set up a full flow. To give you an example, I have tasks all the way from application received to document sent, introduction made. You can even see the type of things I have. So new file created, create task, and then another task. Stage change, wait. I always add these waits in between. And the reason why I do that, and this is a little bit of a trick, is I add a 1 minute wait. And the reason why I want there to be a 1 minute wait is every once in a while you'll drag something along your pipeline and you accidentally might drop it in the wrong stage. That means that these tasks are going to get created when maybe you didn't anticipate them to get created. If you put a wait there and you move it out of that stage that you accidentally dropped it into before the task is created, then it won't create them. Therefore, you have a 1 minute cushion to be able to correct your mistake before moving it to the next. That's why I put a wait in between everything. But as you can see, I have stage change as a trigger and then create task after the wait. So this is a great way to create a full workflow system for your entire client journey. And then that way you can essentially just work through your task center day in and day out. Hopefully this video helps, and talk to you guys soon.